our state is awesome. But I wanted to show you, look how dewy and glowy this is without being sticky. Or you can, it's very touchable. Now I did set it with powder and you still see that it has a nice pretty dewy finish. This foundation technique for me is a game changer in the wintertime. I love to use it. It is done with a few products, and so if you want to know how to get this dewy kind of glowy look, then just keep watching. One of the first things that I do after I get out of the shower and I dry my hair and I put my little rollers in up here for a little lift in the top. I have really baby fine hair, so I wear lots of hair pieces. So this, at the end of this, I will not have this hair, okay? It will be my wonderful hair that I love to put on. And but the first thing that I do before I do anything else, like if I'm getting ready and I'm not quite to the point of putting my makeup on, I always put on my Olivia Care. This is 100% natural rosehip oil. I don't know if it will focus for you or not, but I get this at TJ Maxx. You can find it. I mean, you can find rosehip oil anywhere, but I do happen to like this particular brand. And what I do typically is I open it and I take a little bit in the little vial. It's this little dropper, and I just put a couple of drops on my hand, and I take it like this, and then I place it all underneath my eyes. And then you're going to let this sit. This is what I do every single morning, and it's a must. It really does help soften that area, the fine lines in my eyes. Just love it. I do use an eye cream, but there's something about this rosehip oil that my skin loves. It softens it. It softens those lines, and the more moisture you can put there, the better, really, honestly. So now let me go get and let this set for a few minutes, and then we'll finish up the rest of this phase. Okay, so you know we're going to need some things to do this with. So I recommend that you get a liquid foundation, a concealer that you like, and then the rosehip oil. These three things are what we're going to combine together to give us our really pretty kind of dewy finish. And it's going to give us a little bit of flawlessness because we're going to add a little bit of that concealer into it. And we're going to use a blending bud. I actually have two blending buds, and yeah, they're dirty, but I love these. This one is like a Walmart Equate one, and this is Realtex, and they're moist. So get enough water in them, squeeze them out, and squeeze them so if water doesn't run down your hand, then you know that they're perfect and they're ready to use. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is you can have a little tray to mix this with, or you can use something like this from Ulta. I got this. It's got a little deal so you can like hold it and put your stuff on top of it, which is what we're going to do. And then you need, I got this from Walmart too. This is a little spatula, and we're going to use this to mix everything together. So let me get all my things and let me show you how to do and mix the concoction for our base. All right, first of all, we're going to shake up your liquid foundation. A lot of times with these, they'll have like little droppers inside of them. Maybe yours doesn't. Squeeze it back in. This is Younique's foundation. This dries to a matte powder finish, but I do love to shake it up. And I will probably empty the whole entire dropper. And if you need to add more, you can, because it's buildable coverage, however you want to do it. But you're going to take, and I'm just going to put the whole entire little dropper. I'm just going to empty it. Typically, if you were going to do this and use it with a brush, you would probably use about 3 or 4 drops and then apply with a brush and buffing it in, because this is really great buffed in. Or what we're going to do is use the bottom side of this blending bud to press it into our skin. So remember now, I've already put my primer on. I already put the mattifying primer. You can put a hydrating primer if you wish, if you have a drier skin. I just love this. It gives you such a beautiful kind of glow, and it looks very natural. That's what I like about this. Now, we've added that. Now we're going to add some of this rosehip oil to it. And let me grab it back up so you can see I'm holding it. There it is. And I'm going to take and maybe put 2 drops of this in there. That's about it. Now, if you want it to be a little more hydrating, you can add more. I think it's best to try it out, figure out how many drops is best for you. Now, I have 2 different concealers. Now, this is the one I'm going to use under my eyes. And then this one is a little darker color, which you could use for contouring or to cover up these wonderful things here called brown spots. from the sun. And I do have plenty of those. It looks like they're mostly on the sides of my face. I do have this brown one here in the center of my face. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. Let me see if I can get it, or I can bring it up here. And I'll hold it. And see, it has a little doe foot applicator. Ooh, I don't want to run it off. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the side here of it. Just a little bit on the side. And if I wanted to, I could probably go spot treat that one and just take my finger and kind of blend it in, and it will cover it up. And we're not adding a whole lot of this concealer. This concealer is hydrating also, so keep that in mind when you're mixing all this together. It is a hydrating concealer. Now we're going to mix it up. It is by Younique, and it is a new product that we have. I love doing this. And let's mix it all together. This is the fun part. You get to be a scientist. Okay. And then you're going, I'm not going to waste any, so I'm going to kind of put it along my face like that. Now take the end of this, dip it lightly into it. Don't get a whole lot. And you can just kind of dab it across your face so that you're not applying so much in one area, okay? And then start blending it in. And I usually make too much, but you never know. Sometimes I need more full coverage in certain places, and I will wind up using more just in those areas. Like right here, I have the redness there, so I do want to cover that up. But see, I still have a lot left. A little goes a long way with this, and I do bring it down my neck so that everything kind of blends in together and it looks seamless. And I'm going to set this down, and then I'm going to lift my hair up. I should have got a clip, but I didn't. I think I have one here. Need me to use this little clip to pull my hair back. There we go. The worst thing in the world is to get it in your hair, especially if you have blonde hair and then you have that color stuck in it. And it's hard to get out. And then I'm going to show you a little trick that I've been doing for my under eyes here, and I think you will love it. I did it on my Facebook this past week, and I love it. And it's not using powder to set it. We're going to use something different, a different technique for that. So, what do you think? See how it has the little glow in it? Typically, this foundation would dry to a matte powder finish. But when you add just that little bit of the rosehip oil into it, oh my goodness. And you do just, I don't think I need any more. I'm going to put a little more right there. And probably a little more down here on my chin. Let me wipe it off. See, so I actually had too much. So you'll have to try it and just see. Maybe start out with 4 drops to 1 rosehip oil, and then a little bit of the concealer mixed with it. Whatever concealer you like. I do like NARS, by the way, too. I have used that. I do think the consistency of that is nice. This is a hydrating concealer, and so is NARS. So either one of those would work. But I love how this kind of, have you noticed lately that your neck just starts moving more? I just noticed in that. Aging is difficult, isn't it? It's like, really, every day there's something different about my face that wasn't there the day before. So I'll make sure I get over here. And right in here, close to my ear. I want everything to look. Since I have my hair pulled back, I really need to be mindful of that. Okay. Ta-da! Now we're going to do the under eye. So I'm going to show you all the things you'll need for that very quickly. It's very simple and very easy. Now for my under eyes, I'm going to use concealer and a brush. I'm going to use the other moist blending bud, and I'm going to use setting spray, and I'm going to use this brush here. What is she going to do with that, you think? Well, hang on, because I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. Now, this is the color Velour. This is actually 2 shades lighter than my foundation. So, I love this color. It is my color. This comes in 20 different shades, by the way. So, if you ever need color matching for anything that I show you, as far as foundation or concealer, just message me. Follow me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I do lots of tutorials throughout the week. And there's always, I have a ladies' night too. That is always fun too. So basically, I'm enjoying putting this concealer like right in this area. And then you can either use your finger or you can take your blending bud and you can blend this out. Now using the blending bud will help thin it out just a little bit. You don't want a whole lot running all down into this area here. You want to keep it more concentrated up underneath your eye. And the one thing I love about adding it with a brush is that you have more control. You do, you have more control. And the fact that I can bring a little bit of this right up into this area where I have some darkness right there. And it really does help kind of open it up. And then you can come back and add a little more if you wish. I'm going to take it on out just a little bit more, and I'm going to blend it all around now, all the way up, kind of clean up that area where I did my eyeshadow, like that. This is so soft. See how bright that makes it? And it looks so darn good. Now, the one thing about this is it is a hydrating concealer, and it's full coverage, but it's very blendable, and it just stays so pretty, but it does dry quickly. So the drying quickly, you need to work one eye at a time. So that's why you're seeing me stop, because I'm not going to go ahead and do this side. I'm going to grab my little brush here. I want to show you how to set this. But I also want to show you what to do. I was looking for my mirror. I don't see it anywhere. Oh, here it is. This little mirror. This is a magnifying mirror. So once you get to that point, you can come back and kind of, this is what happens with me. I have lines running this way and lines running this way. So I will basically check it out by pulling right there. Nothing's sitting there in my lines, okay? And then when I pull it here, I'm always going to have some, always. And I can see that there's just a tiny, tiny bit, and it's right there. And what I do is take my finger and lightly, lightly kind of smooth it out, pull it back out, and voila, that's gone. Now I know I'm ready to set this side, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set this. Now this is what you do. This is actually a Morphe brush. It's a Morphe M536, I believe. That's what it says there. But it's an under eye brush, and I used to use my powder with this. So I made sure I cleaned it really good and got all the powder off of it. And what you want to do is take your setting spray, shake it up. And then you don't want to spray this close, because you don't want this to be like sopping wet, okay? It just needs to be lightly mist. So you want to hold it out just a little bit and spray it like that, and then shake it off. And then I kind of tap it on my hand just a tad to make sure if there's too much, you don't want too much, because it will move the product. Then you're going to come in and you're going to press it into this area. Press it again, very, very lightly. Means you're not moving the product, you're setting the product. And bring it all the way up here where you put it, because I brought it all the way up to my temple. And that way, if you have an issue with powder, you don't have to worry about the powder settling into your lines or making it look cakey. Because all of us have different varying degrees of wrinkles and sagginess underneath our very thinning, skinning eyes. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up my face in just a second. I really love that. Girl, look good. All right, so I got the other eye done, but look at the finish. Now, this is just my base face. I haven't added any blush. I haven't added bronzer. I haven't done any contouring. This is simply, look how pretty that is. Look at the glow that it gives you. I think this finish, and I don't want mine to be totally flawless, so that's the reason I love this liquid foundation. It makes me look better, but not overdone. and that's the worst thing, is to have too much foundation on. But wow, what a difference. I kind of like some of my little blemishes to show through just a little bit. Now, I am going to contour just a little bit with this concealer. I'm going to add a little bit of light right above my forehead and like through the center of my face, because I do enjoy that. So I'm going to add just a little bit of this through here, and then maybe contour my nose just a tad. I don't know. I'll probably just do it with some bronzer today. But another place I like to highlight is right through here and right through here. And I think it's so much easier to use a brush than it is to use the stove foot. You have more control about application and how much you're putting on your face. With the doe foot, it's a little bit harder to do, I think, and because you can grab too much. And then use your little beauty blender that you used to do your under eyes and blend it out. Boom, look at that. And if you have those nasal folds, this is a great way to highlight, and light brings things forward. Remember that. And if you're going to use a dark color, it's going to recede. It creates the shadow that you need. Now you can bring the concealer around your eyes if you wish. I'm wearing bangs, so I'm not real concerned about that, but I do like my forehead to be a little bit light through that center. Now we're going to add some bronzer and some blush, and I'm going to show you how to get a little bit more of a glow on your cheeks up here. Now I saw this trick with Hot and Flashy, and I loved it, and I want to show it. I'm going to show you how to do it as well. So now I'm going to contour just a little bit. I'm going to use this Sculpting Trio palette by Younique, and you can see which one that I use the most. That's the one we're going for. And this is the brunette palette, I think. It's the medium one. It's not too light and it's not too dark. And I am using this little Japanese brush here. And it's just, this is a little contour brush. And I'm just going to kind of lightly tap and create a little bit of a shadow there. And bring it slightly underneath my cheekbone. Just slightly. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Find your ear. And here's the hollow. Like there's space between your jaw and your brow bone here, and not brow bone but cheekbone. Girl, I don't know where I'm at. And you're gonna lightly just tap it in here. It's so funny sometimes when you're trying to think and talk. Sometimes it doesn't always work. And so blend it out really lightly and kind of blend upward. Because you just want a shadow effect. You don't want a whole lot of this. And if you want to have a more rounded kind of look like you got a cheek, like, you know, cheeks, you can bring it slightly underneath your cheek. Let me blend it, blend it, blend it, and bring it slightly down. And I wouldn't go real heavy in this area. Just keep it very, very light. And then we're going to do the same thing along my jawline because our jawline needs help. And so just follow that jawline around. I love this brush because it's like perfectly shaped to work in this area. And then you can blend with it as well. That's what I like about it. You can kind of blend down. It's kind of a soft, dense brush, so it works really good. I think I got it at Walmart in like a set, like a contour set, but it is a Japanese brush. I do know that. And see, that helps with your jowls and stuff. And if you need to, you can bring it slightly up in this area if you've got some that really hang there. And you can kind of, it chisels out your, see, it chisels out that chin just a little bit more. I have a heart-shaped face, so I don't really need to do that, but I just wanted to show you that. And then we're going to do just a little bit on our nose. Like right through here. I'm not really, all I'm doing is just darkening the sides just a little bit. You know, our nose grows as we age, and sometimes it's going to get wider than we want it to be. And I really have been looking at, like, I've never had the fillers and things like that in my face, or Botox, and you can look and tell because you can see all my wrinkles up there. And a lot of my friends do the Botox, but I'm just real leery of it. Look at there. See, that's a little bit better. And I don't usually contour up here because my hair covers it anyway. So basically that's where we're at with the contouring part of sculpting out and doing this cheeks, our blush. Now I'm going to use, yes, I'm going to use a lipstick to do this with. And I think I'm going to use this color Snarky. You have to hold these up. Now these are Splash liquid lipsticks. And yes, this is one of them. These are really pretty on your skin. Now, if you want the dewy look, I mean, you can go with powder if you want to, but I'm going to use these. See, it's got a little wand. You're going to take your finger, tap it, and get a little bit on there. It's a pretty color. See that? It makes a really pretty blush color. So for this application, it's going to look really pretty and give you a really pretty dewy skin look. So here's the corner of my eye. We're going to come here, and we're just going to kind of dot it up toward the temple, and we're just going to spread it. And you build this a little at a time. You don't go in heavy-handed with it, because these are very highly pigmented anyway. So if you went with a lot of pigment, it would be a little harder to blend out. So be mindful of that. But if you don't want to use anything like this, or maybe you have a pretty cream blush that you love, I'm just turning the lipstick into a cream blush. That's all I'm doing. And then you're going to add just a tad more, and you're going to bring it slightly inward in this area, and then blend it back up. It just gives you the hint of youthfulness. Like when you see those girls, their face is just so rosy and pretty there. That's basically what we're doing, blending it upward. And you don't have to use a whole lot of this. You just want to look like you've been blushing. As we say in the South. That girl blushing? You blushing? Yeah. Like when you get embarrassed, you know, you blush. And then I get tickled. If that happens to me, I just get tickled most of the time. Okay, there we go. How pretty is that? That is so darn pretty. So, so pretty. Keep blend it into this area here. Boom. And then what you're going to do, let me grab the other item. I have to find it. I'll be right back. Now our cheeks are rosy. Yes, they are. And we're going to take a little bit of this Illuminator. This is a stick Illuminator. This is Younique's. It's a color benevolent. Great for older skin. And you could just swipe this across there, but I want to place this in certain areas, and I just want to be mindful of placement, okay? So you're just going to kind of tap it in, and you're going to bring it slightly onto that cheek area and back up toward your temple. And I swear it gives you the most pretty glow. It does. Ooh, how pretty is that? It just looks so darn natural. See the shine on your face? Oh, I love it. Love this look. So simple and so easy. There we go. Now I got to do the other side. And so I'll do that off camera and I'll be right back. All right, so both sides are done. Look how youthful and glowy that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love it. Makeup is amazing to me, and it just gives you confidence, and it's fun to do. It really is. It's a lot of fun to do. Now, I've got some colors on my eyes, but I'm going to kind of finish out this look. This is my little palette that I put together. I'll put this in I'll put this down link too. This is a beautiful fall palette, but this is a color Delicious, and I love it. And I have on Impish, and I have on Visionary. So these are the three colors I've used. Now, if you want it to be more, this is kind of a peachy color called Covetous, and then this one is Laid Back, which is a matte color. But I'm going to kind of mix these two, like tap, tap, and I want to bring it right underneath my eye. So I wanted to complete the look for you, because I really love fall colors. I do. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And these colors here are so darn pretty. Now, yes, that is a metallic, but you have two shimmers, this one and that one, but you also have two mattes. So if you layer this color down first and then apply this one onto it over here in the corner like I did, it kind of mattifies it a little bit, and it doesn't make it look quite like, it doesn't look like a shimmer at all at that point. So tap it and do the other side. Yeah, I love it. It's so pretty. And then I did use a brown liner, but I'll post everything that I use for the eyes below too for you, because we all love a pretty fall eye. I do. I love it. See, now we can come back and kind of fix this corners since we've done our concealer. How pretty is that? Ooh, I love it. You'll love this too, okay? All right, so let me do my lips, and I'll be back, and we'll finish up. All right, so the last thing we need to do is set our face. So you can either use setting spray or you can use setting powder. I'm going to use a little bit of setting powder because I like to use the setting powder in the center of my face, because that's where most of my oil in my T-zone area gets oily throughout the day. Even though I wear the mattified primer, I still do need to set this, because the primer acts like a barrier between my skin and my makeup, helping it not to break down, and it also kind of diffuses fine lines and pores and things like that. So I'm looking for my brush. Here it is. This brush. And this is our setting powder. This is Younique setting powder. I do love It's by Pores too, by the way. So it's a great one. It's a translucent. But this one has a really pretty finish to it. I love how it looks on the skin. And you see, I just kind of dot it on. I don't want to move my makeup around, but I do want to put all of this in my T-zone oily area. And if you want to set it, push it out, I would recommend probably doing it under here and down your neck too, because we did add some foundation there, and we don't really want transfer in that area. You don't want to go hugging nobody and get it on them too. Yeah. But this is such a beautiful look. I hope you try it. I hope if you have questions, you can message me on Facebook. Come to Facebook. I would love to have you there on my page there. But I'm able to get on here like once a week on Sundays. Let me push my lashes up, because when my lashes start to dry, I always push them up so they curl a little bit more. I use Twisted. I'll put everything that I've used down in the comments. Oh, and this lip. This is a new lip. These are coming out in early January. These are lip butters. Isn't that gorgeous? So what I did was I took this color, which is, I'm learning the name, Scenic Drive. And then I took this color, which is, I think it's a Beach Bonfire. Woo, girl. So what I did was I put this one on first, and then I put this one on second. Let me open it up so you can see the colors. Now these have shea butter in them. Oh my gosh, they are absolutely wonderful, the colors. Ooh. But I mixed these two. I put this in the center like an ombre, and I put this one on all over. So beautiful, beautiful. These are brand new. They're very nourishing to your skin. Got all kinds of great vitamins in them for it, and really they're better than chapstick. Let me just say that. They do feel like butter going on your lips, but they are absolutely gorgeous colors together. Oh my goodness, I really, really like this look, and I hope you do too. And if you would please like and subscribe, I would love to have you come here every Sunday, and please leave a comment of something that you would like for me to do or touch on. I'm 58 as we speak, so if you're in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, I can help you out with some tips and tricks. And I showed you a few tips and tricks today, especially your under eyes. That is the hardest thing ever, isn't it, to work with, your under eyes. But look how great these look. I love this concealer. This concealer is so easy to work with. It's creamy, it's hydrating, but keep in mind that it does dry fast, so do one eye at a time. But, all right. I love it. I love the way it brightens my face up. I really do. I like it. But I do use a brush with it and to apply it, so less is more. And then blend it out with a blending bud or your fingers, whichever one you wish. And try out that tip I did today with the setting spray and the brush. Okay, that's been a game changer. I really love the way that works. And when you go back to feel it, it's just totally set, and it's not sticky and it's not dewy. So it's perfect. It's perfect. Try it with whatever you have, and you will see. Maybe it'll work for you too. All right, guys. I'll see y'all next Sunday. Thanks for watching, and I love you guys. I'll see you later.